So hi everyone, Derek Spallone here. We're glad to be joined alongside Minnesota Lynx star Napheesa Collier. How's everything been going?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for taking the time out. And just first and foremost, I know it was a tough start to the season, beginning 0-6, but the team really persevered and became the second team in WNBA history to start off 0-6 but clinch a playoff berth. So what adjective would you use to describe this squad and the grit you saw down the stretch?
I think we're just so resilient this year. We've had a lot of ups and downs. It's not easy, obviously, to start 0-6, but I don't think any of us for a minute thought that was going to be our destiny where we weren't going to have a good year. Just especially the chemistry that we have is such a fun group to play with, and we really want to play for each other. So we knew we were going to get success from that. So I'm just so proud of how we've grown, really learned off of each other, learn how to play as a team, learn what works for us. So it's been really fun to kind of see that growth this year.
Do you remember what that turning point moment was during the season where you noticed, like, okay, this is we're heading in the right trajectory?
I mean, it's always fun to get your first win, to have that under your belt. Kind of takes the pressure off of that 0-6, and then it shows you what you need to do, like what winning looks like, especially because we had so many young players at the time. We have 2 rookies still, but we had a lot more before. So just showing what that looks like as our team, I think it kind of made us like an aha moment. This is what it's going to take to win these games.
And Napheesa, knowing the rich history of the Minnesota Lynx organization and the great players who have led this team on the floor, from Seimone Augustus to Moore and Sylvia Fowles, what does it mean to you to now be in that position as the next one up to carry the torch as the leader of this team?
Yeah, it means a lot. Obviously, so many amazing players have come from this, and I feel really blessed to learn from them. I had Sylvia and Simone. I had Sylvia for a lot longer, and then Cheryl, who coached them all for so long. So to learn from them and just take all those pieces and try to implement it into my own leadership style and who I am as a player. So I definitely felt that responsibility this year, and I've done my best to be the best leader I can be, the best, obviously player that I can be, and just do it in my own way.
Do you remember, is there a message that Sylvia or Myra would offer you that you think really helped you, grow into that leadership role as you embrace that more this season?
I think to just stay aggressive, because I know it's within me. I know, obviously, I'm a good player, and the faith that they have in me is so humbling, honestly, because they're Hall of Fame players, a Hall of Fame coach, and the faith that they have in me to perform every night. I feel that responsibility, and I want to make them proud. So just to stay aggressive was just something that I really tried to do this year.
And you've experienced success throughout your basketball journey, from being an NCAA champion to 2019 Rookie of the Year, and capped off by 3-time All-Star, and many more milestones ahead. But when you have the chance to just reflect back on your journey and what you've been blessed to achieve, what would you say has been the biggest life lesson the game of basketball has taught you?
I would say how to work with people. And I think that's really important because I've been really blessed to have amazing teammates, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you play with people who your personalities are different. We come from so many different backgrounds, which is amazing. You can learn different cultures, we have 2 foreign people on our team. You get to learn about that. People grew up all different ways. So learning about that and being able to adapt and work with people, I think is a really great life skill that basketball has taught me.
And I think that's also a credit to the leadership too, right? Where you're able to take that and take the time to get to each of your teammates at an even higher level, and that transitions to success and camaraderie on the court too. So as someone growing up who had a dream and achieved it, what is your biggest piece of advice to the youth out there who have aspirations of one day being in your shoes? Yeah.
I would say consistency is the biggest thing. I mean, repetition. It's like for a test. How you study is how you're going to do on the test. The more you study, the better you'll do. And so if this is really what your passion is and a goal of yours is to get to whatever level that is, you're going to have to put in the work. Sometimes, especially when you're younger, that means maybe missing a birthday party, long summers doing AAU, things like that. But that sacrifice, if that's what your goal is worth it. Consistency is definitely key in making sure that you're working on your craft.
Sure, and it's motherhood. Knowing that you have such a great deal of responsibility on the court, how do you balance that, knowing that you have an even greater purpose off the court with raising a child?
I really credit that to my family. I have an amazing support system, and my parents, my husband, his family. There's always someone ready to watch our daughter, and so that really allows me to know that she's in good hands, so I can focus on what I'm doing when I'm on the court. But it's been so special to see her interact with the team and how they interact with her. She has 11 other aunts on the team who love her so much. So I can't wait till she's a little bit older too, where she can kind of appreciate that. And I just want to make her proud. Everything I do obviously is for her at this point going forward. And so I want her to see how hard I work. I want her to see what it's like growing up in this atmosphere. Hopefully she loves sports as much as we do. So it's been really cool so far, and I'm excited for the future and what it holds too.
Does it also keep you grounded where, hey, basketball is ups and downs, right? But then you come home and you see, your baby and she's just happy to see mom.
Yeah, it's so exciting. There's literally no better feeling.
Sure.
She just, every time she sees me, her face lights up, she runs to me, she does like this little scream. It's so fun. So it also is grounding, like you said. No matter what happens on the court, if it's a bad day, you go home and it's wiped away because of this little human that just thinks you hang the moon. So, it's so cool to have that, and I feel so lucky to have her.
Sure. No, definitely a blessing. And our final question for you, Napheesa. Aside from the game of basketball, what's one thing about Napheesa Collier that not many people know that you can share with us, maybe a special hobby or interest aside from the game?
I'm a huge reader.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always reading. My teammates make fun of me all the time, especially Rachel, because she sits behind me, so she sees me reading all the time.
Are you doing it off like the Kindle or are you doing it like the actual?
I usually do it off my phone
Okay.
because books are so heavy. I like the hard copy and like the satisfaction of putting it away, but we travel so much, it gets a little heavy.
Is there a specific genre of interest or one that you're
Yeah.
reading?
I really like murder mysteries, but right now I'm reading a romance novel, which I love those too, but those are two probably. I like fantasy a little bit, sci-fi, I don't know, kind of all over the map.
Oh man, he kind of mixes it up, keeps it fresh too,
Yeah.
especially throughout the course of the season when
Yeah.
you're growing.
And if you combine a couple of those genres,
It's a whole different volume right there. Derek Spallone, Napheesa Collier, thanks so much for taking the time. We wish you the best this postseason, and thank you for hanging out with us. So,
Thank you.
Thanks.